Hello everybody, welcome back to Beboss Kitchen, and welcome to those of you who are new to my channel. Today I am going to make something for Clayton and I for dinner tonight. It's a stuffed meatloaf. I've never made this. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I want to start by showing you the list of ingredients and get this ready to go in the oven. So here is the list. You will need ground beef, eggs, onions, garlic cloves, flour, a soft cheese such as mozzarella. I'm using Fontina, butter, tomato sauce, smoked paprika, Italian seasoning, black pepper, salt, baby spinach, mushrooms, parsley, a baking sheet, and parchment paper. Okay, the first thing that I am going to do is to crack open my eggs, and I'm going to whisk these with my spices, my smoked paprika, my salt, and my Italian herbs. These are Italian herbs, and my paprika, and my salt. And I'm just going to give all of this a whisk. You want to mix this really well. And you just kind of do it for your own taste. Ever how much salt? I've listed in the recipe a teaspoon, but just do it according to your taste. I will list this recipe below in the description box for you so that you can look at it and know exactly what to do. Okay, and now I'm going to take this mixture and I'm going to add this to my ground beef, and I hope this bowl is going to be big enough to hold this, and I think it will. My hands are clean. I've been washing some dishes, so my hands are clean. Okay. I'm just going to mix this all together so that it's all combined really well. I think this probably will make a relatively small loaf, which is good because it's just Clayton and myself. Of course, if it turns out, yields out very well, then we'll take a plate down to my son that lives down the road. I did not make a video this past week because, first of all, last Saturday I started getting sick again. I took a cold. Everything here where we live in South Georgia is blooming out. The pollen is really heavy. And I kind of think that's what started my feeling bad, because it was all in my head. It was a lot of congestion in my head. And then, on top of all of that, my good friend Melanie that came and took care of me when I had my double mastectomy, my breast cancer surgery, and she came and stayed and took care of me for a week. She's getting married in April. And she had asked me if I would make her wedding dress. Now, I am here to tell you, I did that because she is a very dear friend to me, and after what she had done to help me, how could I refuse? But anyway, it became quite a challenge for me. She and her fiance, they came on Sunday night, and I was so sick. But I had already cut her dress out, but I didn't want to start on it until she came so that I could fit her as I was working on this, which was a good thing. I would have really had some issues had I not waited. But anyway, she came and I started on her dress on Monday morning, And it took 3 days. I sewed pretty much all day on Monday, all day on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, because they live in Virginia. Mike had to be back in Virginia on Friday morning for a meeting that he had to attend. And so Wednesday, I sewed for 12 hours on that dress trying to get through with it. It was like I was having all these issues, and anything that could go wrong was going wrong. Every time I would go to use my machine, my needle would unthread, and just one thing after another like that. It was crazy. But anyway, I got her dress made. It was beautiful. I did not take any pictures. Her daughter-in-law does photography, and so I'm going to wait until her daughter-in-law actually does some pictures of her, and I'll get a picture of it and I will post it then so that you all can see it. But when she saw Ellie's gown that I had made year before last, that was the green with the embroidered tulle, she loved that. And so she wanted to go with, she went with a little bit lighter shade of olive green fabric. It was more of a yellow cast to it, but we did the same embroidered tulle on top of it. And it turned out to be really, really pretty. So, I didn't make any videos. I know you all think that I'm so sporadic with my video making, but you just cannot imagine what a busy lifestyle I have. Anyway, just saying so that you know, it's not that I'm sitting around with my heels propped up, just having fun, sipping tea and having biscuits. But anyway, I want to get this in the oven. So enough of that. Let's get back to what I'm doing. Okay, I decided I am going to have to get a larger bowl. So, I'll go ahead and put my meat in this. All right, now I want to coarsely grate my onion. So, I will just cut it in half, and I'm going to grate this, the coarse side of my grater. Okay, I've got this grated, and I'm going to add this to my meat mixture. Okay, and now I'm going to grate a couple of garlic cloves. Okay, and I'm going to add the garlic to my meat mixture. I'm going to chop my parsley, and I want this chopped up fairly fine. And now I'm going to add the parsley to my meat. And I'm going to add some flour to this as well. Okay, and I'm going to mix all of this together. Okay, and now I'm going to let this sit for about 10 minutes and rest. Just going to sit for 10 minutes, and I'm going to chop my spinach while that's sitting. Okay, I want to just chop this up, and I'm going to chop it relatively small. Okay, I've got my pan hot, and so I want to add some butter. And I'm going to add my spinach to this. And I just want to saute this, stirring it while it's cooking down. I have this on a medium-low heat. I just want to saute my spinach until it's cooked. Okay, while my spinach finishes sauteing, I want to line my sheet here with the parchment paper, and I'm going to turn my meat out onto this and start pressing it out into a rectangular shape. Just pressing it with your hands. And you want to press it so that it's fairly thin. I think actually I'm going to get out a larger baking sheet because I don't think my sheet is going to be big enough. I debated whether or not to use this or the larger, but I'm going to go with the larger sheet. And I'm also going to get another piece of parchment paper, so I'll be right back. Okay, I have gotten the larger sheet, baking sheet out. I think this sheet will work better. And so what I'm going to do is to extend my sheet down like so, and I'm just going to bring this one over and lay it down so that I have enough on the ends, because when I get ready to bake this, I'm going to have to roll it up and I'm going to have to wrap the ends. So I am just going to start over here. Kind of hold my paper in place because it wants to slide. I have the pre-cut parchment. Now, if you buy it by the roll, you can roll out how much you need, but mine's pre-cut. I'm trying to make this as even as possible so that it will bake evenly. I think this will make a pretty good size roll of meatloaf. Okay, I think I've got that pretty well pressed out evenly. I think that may be a little thicker and thinner right here, so press some of this downward. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is to add my spinach to this. Now you want to leave a border, a margin, probably about 2-inch margin all the way around your meat roll. So I'm going to try my best to dispense this out over the entire meatloaf. Okay, I want to just spread this over, but I want to leave about a 2-inch margin. Okay, I think that is pretty well done. So, okay, now I'm going to chop up my mushrooms and get them ready. Y'all may hear my pepper. She's whining because she wants to come in the kitchen, and Clayton has built us a gate that keeps them out. And so she's lying there at that gate crying, wanting to come in. The little girls were not an issue, but Maple, our big dog that we got from my granddaughter and grandson-in-law, has been an issue. She's so tall and so big, she was stealing things out of the kitchen. She would just, if we had a loaf of bread on this island, I can't tell you, she's gotten several loaves of bread and other things. So Clayton fixed that problem for us, and it's great. I love it, but my little girls don't love it. And normally when I'm in the kitchen, Pepper, the one that's whining, the little black one, she is always right under my feet. Wherever I'm at, that's where she lies. She's such a sweet, sweet baby. But it's a nuisance when I'm trying to cook and she's in the way. Okay, I'm going to melt some more butter. And now I will add my mushrooms to my butter, and I'm going to saute these. Okay, I've got my mushrooms are sauteed pretty well, so now I have chopped an onion, and I'm going to add that to my mushrooms and saute those. While my onions are sauteing now, I'm going to chop up a couple of garlic cloves. Okay, and now I'm going to add my garlic that I've chopped to this. I want to cook this somewhat until it's golden looking. Okay. Now I'm going to take this off of the heat, and we're going to place this on top of the spinach. Okay, and you just want to distribute this evenly across the spinach. And so now I'm going to grate my cheese, and that's going on top of this. Like I told you when I was introducing the ingredients list, I am using this Fontina cheese. I used it the other day on the pork loin, and it's a nice soft cheese. It's really, really delicious. And so I'm going to use this to go on top of my meat roll. I just want to grate enough to cover all of that really well. You can also use like mozzarella because it's a soft cheese. But I actually think this Fontina has more flavor to it than mozzarella does. Okay, so now I'm just going to sprinkle this on top. That's perfect. Okay, now I'm going to start by rolling up my meat into a log, and I just want to roll it My paper is sliding out from underneath this. I've got to pull this back over. See where it's sliding out. This will definitely work better if you have a one-piece parchment. It's still sliding. When I do this again, I will buy a roll of parchment paper. My meat is really, really soft. I don't know, guys, if this is going to work or not. I'm going to bring it this way and see if I can roll this up. And I can. Okay, I want to open this. Let's see. I need to seal the ends of my meatloaf so that the meat is sealed off and the ingredients inside doesn't leak out. Just pressing the ends in, sealing that off really good. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to try to wrap this. You're supposed to wrap this closed, and I don't know, my paper's so short, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. Okay, I got it closed as well as I could, and I twisted the ends to hold all the juices and everything inside. And so now I've preheated my oven to 350, and I'll put it in the oven and bake it for 40 minutes, and then I will be back when that's completed. Okay, now it's time. I'm going to make my sauce that's going to go on my meatloaf when I take it out of the oven. I'm going to take 3 tablespoons of tomato sauce, and as usual, I forgot to mention an ingredient in the ingredient list, which is soy sauce that you're going to need for this. So I want a tablespoon of soy sauce in my tomato sauce here. And then I'm just going to sprinkle some Italian seasoning into this. And I'm going to give this a mix. You want to mix it thoroughly. And I want to add just a little bit of pepper to the sauce. You want everything mixed thoroughly. And when I take the meatloaf out of the oven, I will baste the meatloaf with this sauce. So I'll be back when it comes out of the oven. Okay, the timer has just gone off and my roll has busted open. That is not the way this is supposed to look. And it's because of my parchment paper. Oh well, it just is what it is. I can't do anything about that. It will still be good, but it's not pretty like it should be. So what I'm going to do, I'm not quite sure how I should do this, because I am supposed to marinate this with this sauce. So I'm just going to rub it on the best way I can. And I'm sorry, you all, that this has not turned out properly. But what I may do is, after I get some parchment paper on a roll, I may do this again to show you exactly how this is supposed to look. I'm really disappointed. I'm very, very disappointed. I guess I could call it a boat. A meatloaf boat. That's what it looks like. If it tastes good, then I will make another one, and I will make another video. It's so frustrating when you put all your work into something and then that fails. But you know what? That is part of life, is it not? Everything in life does not turn out perfect or the way that we plan. But you just have to go with it and do the best that you can. And that's the way our life is. So, I'm going to pop this back in the oven for 15 minutes. I don't know of anything unless, I don't know if it's just tearing apart. I think what I'm going to do is to try, no, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to put it in there. And let it finish baking. There's nothing else I can do. I'm sorry. Gosh, that looks terrible. I hope it tastes better than it looks. Okay, I'm going to set it in the oven. I wish I had a loaf pan that long that I could stick it in and pull the sides up to it, but I don't. I don't have anything. And I don't know. I tell you what I think I am going to do to keep it from bursting on open. I'm going to take and place maybe a dish. I'm going to take this bowl. I'm going to slide this over and I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to set that bowl right there just like that and help hold it to keep it from splitting on a part. I'm going to show you why I'm talking about that. See right here how it's cracked and it's wanting to burst on open. So I am going to push this bowl up just like this. And I'm going to stick this back in the oven and let it finish baking like that. I don't know anything else to do about it. So I'll pop it in there and bake it for 15 more minutes and then I'll bring it out. So I will be back. Okay, my timer has gone off and so I have brought my disaster out. It smells good, but it looks pretty sad. But it looks better since I put the bowl in there and let it form tighter. I'm going to let it set for a little bit before I try to take it out of this. I feel quite sure it is going to really fall apart when I go to take it out of this pan. But anyway, I'm supposed to take the remaining sauce here and just apply it to this. So I'm going to do that. Just brush what I have left over what I have here. I think I'm going to go ahead and try to slide that bowl over a little bit. I wish I would have thought of this bowl, but I didn't realize it was going to do all this. I wish I had planned ahead of time, but I didn't. You know, you live and learn and die and forget it all. So there you go. Another one of my mottos. Actually, my greatest motto, I think. Live and learn, die and forget it all, because that's exactly what happens. Okay, well, I'm just going to brush this down. And when this gets cool enough, I'll scoop up a piece and we'll see how it tastes. I hope it tastes better than it looks. But it's okay, you know. Hey, you have to be, you have to take it in a good spirit. Because like I said earlier, everything doesn't go according to plan. If we didn't have failures, we would never strive for greatness. So, There you go. But you know what? I know this is going to be fabulous. I made a banana pudding earlier today. My husband requested this. And so, take a little peek at this. My meatloaf may have flopped, but my banana pudding did not. And so, we're going to have flopped meatloaf, mashed potatoes, green beans, banana pudding, and a glass of tea for our supper. He is out on the other end of our house. I have told you all that we're doing some addition to the house. We've built a large room on the bedroom end of our house. It's going to be a walk-in closet / laundry room / sewing room. And so he has been working down there today. He's run the plumbing for the washer. He's got the wiring in for the dryer, and he has installed a waterless electric hot water heater so that I can have it for my washing machine. I hardly ever use hot water, but I want to have access to it just in case. And he's been working in our old garage, which will be my new kitchen, and he's making progress with that. And so when things really start pulling together, I'm going to video it and I will show you, but I'm getting really excited. So hopefully I will do better when I get in there with a little more space, because I'm sure that's probably what made this fall for me, was because I don't have enough room in my kitchen, right? Okay, well, I'll be back in a few minutes. I'll see you when it cools down just a tad. Okay, y'all, this is a work in progress.
I'm a good helper.
He's a great helper. And this meat boat, instead of meatloaf, has got to have several people to get it on the platter. So what I want you to do, because I've done got these two long spatulas under it, I want you to hold this so that it doesn't, because it's going to crack. And I want to try to lift it.
This is like a boat launch.
I don't know. Wait a minute. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
This may flop, y'all. Woo! Okay. Well, it did better than I thought it was going to do, but man, what a mess.
Is this a taste test, or we're going to eat a piece of it later?
No, we're eating it now. This is our supper. Well, anyhow, y'all, Lord have mercy, what a mess. But I know all of y'all thought that I probably was perfect in everything that I did.
I just came in on this project, so it looks good to me.
It does not look good. It looks like something that was hit on the highway. Oh my goodness.
The head?
Well, I can't tell if it's the head or the tail. I think the head's missing. I got to rinse my fingers. Let me rinse my fingers. And I'll get you a plate. And I'm going to let him do a taste test.
She's going to edit all this out. I don't know what's going on right now, but I want to taste it. That one. That out. Knock down, drag out. Do some cooking.
Thank you, honey.
Oh, you heard that?
He's my greatest critic.
Give me a slab of that and I'll test it for you.
Okay, all right. All right, let's see here. I need a knife. Okay. All right, I'm going to cut it into here.
Somebody else is wanting something over there.
Yeah, I told y'all Pepper was crying because she wanted in here. I looked at the clock and discovered it was 2 hours past her supper time. That's why she was crying. Well, that actually, it looks fairly good.
So
I got to wash my fingers again.
So while she's washing her fingers, one more fine cook.
What are you building me up for? Oh, God. Okay. Here's your fork. Now, I like that knife, honey. I can get you a smaller knife.
Okay. Well, this don't have a lot of the cheese in the...
Here's your knife.
Here we go. All right. Man, I'm drooling.
Is it okay?
It's not a good taste test because I'm really hungry. But that is good.
Is it good?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. So y'all heard it. I'm going to try it. Let me see. I want a little bit of cheese. We're fixing to go to our table and sit down and eat with the rest of the stuff that I have prepared. But here is to you. It's supposed to be a meatloaf, but it's turned into a meat boat. And it's good.
It is good. And it's tender. It's real good. I really don't care for it. This is a pork loin.
No, that's a meatloaf, ground beef.
Oh. You really can't tell what this baby is. I'm telling you.
I told you, it looks like roadkill.
It's supposed to be round?
It's supposed to be round. It's supposed to be a solid roll of meat.
Okay. Looks like.
But my parchment paper was too short, too narrow, and so it just come apart. But anyway, that's just the way it is. No. He's wanting to get my sugar. Not on camera. Anyway, you all have a good evening. And until the next time, I'm Beba, and this is...
I'm Clayton.
And we'll see you soon in another video. But may the Lord bless and keep you and your family safe until we do. You take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Let's eat this thing.